Hello everybody, Zach here from 71D Productions. Today I am back with another double O gauge loco review, and today we'll be looking at my other Dapol locomotive. So of course I have shown the streamlined railcar on my channel a couple years back, but today we have my other Dapol loco. We have the 6100 large Prairie tank. So just like always, I'm going to start waffling and get straight into it. So the front of the locomotive is quite simple but also very, very nice. So as per usual, we do have sprung buffers. The vacuum piping is pre-fitted. We also have the hook for the coupling, so chains can be added. This is really nice. We've got two, I think these are the supports that come down onto the smoke box. These are metal. And then also we have a completely die-cast running plate, which is exceptional, and it does give the locomotive a lot of traction when pulling heavier loads. So of course we've got separately fitted handrails, riveting around the side of the smoke box, which can't quite be seen right now, but it will be in a moment. Lamp irons are also fitted, so if you wanted to add a head code you could, and we've also got the separately fitted smoke box fittings. On the side of the locomotive, we've got separately fitted handrails right here, and along the side as well. You can see in the cab, the handrail is right there. Not the handrail, the handbrake. We've also got some detail on the roof, around the sides, and the vent. The vent doesn't open. It seems to only be Hornby that are keen on this feature, which is interesting. But on top of the firebox, you can see we've got the separately fitted whistle, the safety valve bonnet as well, and there is detailing inside of that. All of the piping details are really nice as well, and even on the water tank caps as well. I'll just slightly move along so you can see it. Even on the water tank caps, there's lots of detail too. Sorry about the car in the background. So yeah, we've got the early Great Western lettering as well, which is very, very nice as well. It's one of my personal favourite Great Western liveries. Just had something a little bit different. A lot of piping as well, leading down from the safety bonnet into the tanks and the boiler as well. We've also got the D on the side, which I think is the Great Western's power classification method. So there's also, just moving along a little bit, we've got the cap. It's not quite as shiny as the Bachmann model, as the Bachmann 9400, but it's not quite as dull as the Hornby. It's quite a nice balanced mixture. And it just adds something quite nice. And down below you can see a few smaller bits of internal detail just down here, which are all very nice as well, and another railing on top as well. Of course, the previously mentioned handrails are also on display, and you can see some of the finer riveting along the side as well. Just moving down a bit, you can see valve gear as well looks very nice. The cylinders look quite good. Small bits of riveting detail as well are present. As coming back along the side, we've got separate fitted handrails and the ladders as well. You can see the vacuum pipe on the rear. I'll come around to that in a moment. And yeah, it just looks very good. So the rear of the locomotive contains a lot of finer details as well. We can see really small elements of riveting as well. This locomotive doesn't actually, as far as I can see, have glazed windows on the rear, which I'd say is the only really disappointing aspect of this loco. Of course we've got the sprung buffer, small bits of riveting down there. The same as the front, you've got the vacuum pipe, and also, just on the other side there, the coupling. So you could fit screw-link couplings if you wanted as well. Apart from that, you've just got the typical lamp irons. There's one on the top right there, sat in the little bracket in front of the coal load. Speaking of that, there's a door. I'll have to pick the camera up for this, but just in there, there's a little door, which I haven't actually noticed until this review, mainly just because I don't take close looks at the engines, but it looks quite nice overall. Really, really good. The GWR 61XX Prairie tanks were a class of 262 locomotives built by the Great Western Railway, designed by Charles Collett and constructed at Swindon Works. 70 were built between 1931 and 1933, before a subsequent lot in 1935. The class were a development of the original Class 5101 Prairie tanks. They had larger boilers, increasing their boiler pressure up to 225 psi, also giving them an ample tractive effort over their predecessors. The class were well received off the railways by train spotters, nicknamed the Tanner Oners. This was because of 6-1, representing sixpence and a penny, as a little joke. The class replaced the County Tanks 2221 classes, which were ageing Atlantic tank engines, and so as soon as the Prairie tanks came in, they were revolutionary. Often they would be seen working out of Paddington, towards Oxford, Windsor, Reading and Basingstoke, also up to High Wycombe. When the 1960s rolled around, the classes were replaced out of Paddington and on their branch line duties by diesel multiple units. Sadly, all members of the class except for one were withdrawn, but it's good that we still have one today. Okay, well, let's see how it mechanically performs. It's a great looker, and I think for the price, it certainly lives up to that. So I guess before I start, I should mention that. So these have an RRP of about £149, but this particular example that I have cost £119. I think for the price I got it, it's an unbelievable steal. And even for the RRP, it's not the worst thing ever. I'd say, if you're looking to get one, I'd say 135 is probably what you should be looking for. But let's see how she handles slow speeds. I have thoroughly ran her in, so if your example isn't quite like mine out of the box, that wouldn't be why. I suppose I have to zoom in, but it is moving, or at least it was. You can see I'll give it a little bit more speed. It's very good. Apart from when it cuts out. I'll give it a little bit more. It does jutter ever so slightly, but I don't honestly think it's too bad. I'll stick it in reverse. Yeah, it's not too bad. Apart from when it does that. It's not usually like this, it's very odd. It's very curious. I'll give it a little bit more. I'll give it about half speed so you can see how it accelerates. And yeah, it stops very, very quickly. So if you want to do nice, realistic, smooth stops, you're going to have to sort of adjust it. Because I'll do a quick example. I'll send it around and bring it around. I might have to pull the coaches forward. It might hit the coaches. Oh, it's gone straight into the freight siding. Oh dear. Okay. I'll bring it back quickly. Oh dear. It's hit my standard 5. Crikey. Right. Okay, it doesn't like my decoupling ramps either, so I'll just gently pop it back down. Yeah, it doesn't like my decoupling ramps, but of course, since I can't quite reach over to the back of my leg, I should probably flex the point. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll send the loco, well, backwards, I suppose, at half speed, so, yeah, you can see, it's very, very reliable. It's a bit loud, but it's a very, very good runner. The motor doesn't necessarily make a groaning noise, it's more of a whir. And I'll quickly kill the throttle now. Yep, you can see, just like that. Now, it does roll slightly. It isn't like it completely cuts out, but it's quite strange. But I guess I'll throw her onto her coaches. We've got, quite appropriately, an auto coach. I don't think the 6100s were auto-fitted, but I know that some of the 5100s were. So I'll set her into the yard. Well, into the platform, I should say. And then it's the same rake that was seen in the clan line review. Smooth. Right, let's send it on its way. Oh, I thought I had it. Guess not. Come on. No, blimey. Doesn't want to couple up today. I'll be right back. Okay, it took a couple of attempts, but let's see if it'll work now. It's just Dapol and backman couplings not wanting to connect again. It happens quite a lot, I've noticed. Unfortunately, I don't have any Dapol rolling stock except for a few bits of wagons. So, just over there we have another one of my absolute favourite tank engines. We've got the Hatton's DJ Models 5800. One that I really, really like, so we'll get it started in just a second. Right, okay, let's go. Oh, it's gone forwards. Okay, back we go. This thing, because it's only got 4 pickups, does need a bit of welly, and it is very slow on the acceleration. But I kind of like it. It's very realistic, and it's very smooth as well. Really, really nice. I guess the control panel kind of had a bit of a Christmassy theme to the layout. If I turn the lights out for a second, let's just see what happens. It kind of adds a Christmassy effect. And you can see, the Pullman coach, that's very nice. Of course, my Pullman coach has lights installed, so you can actually see. Oh, that's quite nice, actually. That's very nice. I suppose if I were to do anything with lights, I'd probably just get some Christmas lights and do it. But it's nice. It's a nice effect. So we'll flick the lights back on. Aha! There we go. Oh, there it goes. Just sort of stop for a second there. Odd. Okay, so I think we'll call the running session there. No, I won't switch the logos onto the lines like I did last time, because I felt like it made the video drag on a bit too long, but Let me know what you think about it. You will see, I guess if I do any running videos, you will see a bit more of that. But I'll just bring the 5800 to a stop when it comes around. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, we'll just pull it to a stop there. And then we'll do the same with the Prairie tank if I can get to it in time. Oh, I can. The other thing with the dynamics controls is you've got to circle through all of your addresses. That's it. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this review on the Dapol large Prairie tank. I do recommend it heavily. In comparison to the Hornby one, it is phenomenal. The Hornby one lacks in a lot of key areas, I should know. I do know a friend who's got one, and it is not the best thing in the world. If you want a Prairie tank, get a Dapol one. So, with all of that, thank you for watching, and bye for now.